Hey you, welcome to my cargo bike channel. In this video, I want to share how my very first ride on the Urban Arrow family cargo bike went. About a week ago, my husband and I took our two kids, a 3-year-old and a 20-month-old, to our local bike shop that was servicing one of their clients' Urban Arrows. So I have to admit, I have no experience with cargo bikes. I've never owned one. I have never even seen this style of cargo bike in real life. So when I walked up to this bicycle on the bike shop floor, my first thought was, damn, that's a big bike. It's like 9 feet long. It's huge. I found it a bit intimidating. Who did not find it intimidating were my children, who were basically like, yeah, just put me in it. They were all about exploring the box on the front of the bike. So basically, we just wheeled the bike out of the shop, did a couple laps in a parking lot nearby, and then larger laps around the block. And so in this video, I'm going to go over some of the issues that we had and some of the things that we liked. So for me, the main thing that I had trouble with was actually turning the bike. It's such a big bike that I naturally wanted to just turn the handlebars to turn the bike, which is actually not what you're supposed to do, as counterintuitive as that sounds. On a normal bike, you're supposed to just kind of like lean into the turn to go that direction. I've done this my whole life on a normal bike, but the Urban Arrow was just so big that the bike shop guy had to remind me multiple times to stop turning the handlebars so much and just, lean into the turns a little bit more. The bike was just so big, it felt weird to be tilting it like that. But of course, when I did, the bike performed fine. Part of that is probably due to the impressively large tires on this thing. Most of my biking has been road biking, so it's on those like little 1-inch tires that have on occasion slidden out from under me. These Urban Arrow tires are at least like, 3-4 times that big. At least the back tire is. It's huge. It looks like it'll handle really. Another handling issue that I had was actually staring at the front tire too much. It's like really far out there and a little distracting. I found myself staring at it instead of where I wanted to go, which just led me to steering the bike incorrectly. This was more of an issue at slower speeds, like when I was in the parking lot trying to avoid one of those big concrete parking blocks, and went straight for it instead. The shifting will take some getting used to. The Urban Arrow uses the continuous shifter, so there's no discrete gears to move between anymore. And so how they represent that is by this little person on a bicycle, either going up a hill or on flat terrain. The bike shop guy said it's like a throttle on a motorcycle, but I've never ridden a motorcycle before, so that didn't help me. I had to look down at the little picture of a person each time I wanted to change gears and think, okay, I need more assistance like I would if I were going up a hill, so make the little person go up a hill. And then also the little person was on the right side of the hill, and so to me, like, it looked like they were going downhill, which would be easier. So it was just not intuitive for me. But a few days of riding with it, and I'm sure I'll be used to it. So I'm not really worried about it. Basically, the hill means you're in an easier gear, and the flat means you're in a harder gear. One thing I am slightly worried about is that kickstand. It's a good design. It feels very sturdy when the kickstand is down. I didn't have any worries about my kids like pulling on the bucket while the kickstand was down. Very sturdy. But to me, it just felt too far forward for me to be able to comfortably hold onto the handlebars and reach my foot down there to apply pressure to the kickstand in order to engage it. So I'm pretty average height, like 5'7", or like 1.7 meters. That's how other countries measure height, right? Yeah. Anyway, I've actually been worried about this kickstand from the very start of my cargo bike research, because I couldn't really find a video of anyone showing how to put it down and how to get it back up. And I felt a little justified in that worry during this test ride, because I definitely struggled. I'm definitely going to need to practice, especially when there's cargo in the box and it's heavier. Something else I had been worried about was being able to fit both kids in the box and like a load of groceries. However, after this test ride, both of my kids fit side by side on the single bench that comes with the Urban Arrow. and there would have been plenty of room in that box for, several bags of groceries. One of the last things that I did like about the bike were the seat belts. They felt like good, solid, over the shoulder seat belts. It seems common, all the bikes seem to just have the 3-point harnesses instead of the 5 points, which I'm used to with car seats. I was very unimpressed with like the bunch bike 3-point harness, as I was like, there's no way this is going to hold my son in place while I ride this bike. And so I had assumed that I was going to need to buy like the extra seat. I think Bebo sells like an extra toddler seat for kind of older kids that just need a little bit more support and containment. But after doing the test ride, my son felt very secure in the Urban Arrow 3-point harness. I'm going to see how he does with just the seat belt. Oh, and one last thing that my husband did bring up that he was worried about was how long our kids would be able to sit side by side on the bench. Both of my kids weigh about 25 pounds or 11.3 kilograms. They were able to sit very comfortably side by side on the bench. With a little bit of room to spare between them. But Urban Arrow does have an optional like second bench we could install in the box, or when they get a little bigger, maybe I'd be more comfortable putting them on a seat behind me. There were options, so my husband was satisfied with that. All right, so those are my thoughts from the test ride. Disclaimer, after thinking about it a couple of days, my family did decide to buy an Urban Arrow. We're currently waiting for it to arrive. I did another video on my thought process and how we decided that the Urban Arrow was the bike that would fit our family best. I'll include a link to that video down below if you're interested. And subscribe if you're interested in following me on this journey, as I'll post another video after the bike arrives and we've taken it around the block a time or two. As always, thanks for watching.